Hi guys! In today's video I'm going to show you everything that I made in the month of March. So this was a super busy month for me, but surprisingly I was able to get a lot done. And in February I only got 15 things done, so I really wanted to catch up from that and get a lot done in March, and I did. My goal for March originally was to get 45 things done, and I got quite a few more than that done. But I want you guys to go and leave a comment and guessing how many things you think I made this month. So keeping in mind my goal was 45, but I did make more than that. So go ahead and comment your guess now, and then I will tell you at the end of the video how many I made total. So the first thing that I made in March was actually a pattern test, and I did quite a few this month. This one is a Hello Kitty, and this is for one of my crochet friends, and they have tested quite a few patterns for me, and so when I saw they were doing their first pattern, I really wanted to test it for them. So I tested it on Ribblr, and I really love this pattern. It is a larger pattern, so I don't know that I'm going to make it very often, but it is really low sew, which is nice. The next thing that I made was a Leggy Chicky, and I made a white one, and I had a request from someone to make one with embroidered eyes, so I went ahead and tried that. I don't know how I feel about them. I kind of like it, but I don't think it's as cute as how I usually do it with the safety eyes. Next, I crocheted another worm. I made one of these, I believe, in January, maybe February, and I sold it, so I went ahead and made a second one. Next, I made two axolotls, and they're both purple, but they are made with different purple yarns. Then I made two corns, and this is my pattern. You've probably seen it before, but they're very popular and I keep having to restock them. Next, I made a watermelon. So I've made, I think, 3 of these now. I wanted to stock up on some of them for my spring and summer markets. And next I made 2 dragons, and this is actually my first time making a dragon, which is kind of crazy because I have been crocheting forever, and I've had my business for I think like 3 years now, and I can't really believe that I've never made a dragon before, but I finally realized I've never made one, and so I really wanted to, and I found this pattern for free on Ribblr, and it is really nice, and it's very low sew. I think the only thing you have to sew on are the wings, which is really nice for something that has all the different parts. So I made the blue one first, and I thought it was super cute, and then I found this new green yarn, and I thought it would be perfect for a dragon, so I went ahead and made a green one as well. Next, I made a squid, and I have the large pattern for this squid, and I've made it, and then I realized that they make a medium-sized pattern and a small one, so I went ahead and got the medium-sized pattern, and then I got the extra small one for free. One day the person that was making it did a giveaway on Instagram, and so now I have the pattern for all of them, but I went ahead and made a medium one, and I embroidered the eyes on this one. Next, I made a bunny, and this is Aura the bunny, and I love this one. You guys have probably seen I keep making more of these, and I keep talking about them because they're just so cute and I love making them. Now, if you saw my video about everything I made in February, I told you guys that after my surgery, I just really was not into making plushies. I didn't want to do much, so I was working on a bunch of bandanas, but that I didn't weave the ends in on any of them, so I didn't have any of them finished to show you in that video. Well, I finished some of them for this month. So I finished 6 of them this month, which there are still quite a few more that I need to finish for next month, but I did finish 6 of them, so I'll go ahead and show you those. I used some scrap yarn for some of them, so a few of them I don't know what kind of yarn it is, and then some of them, like the first one is a yarn from Hobby Lobby, but I don't remember what it's called. The second and third ones are from Joann, and they are Big Twist Living. The fourth one, I'm not sure what it is. It was a scrap yarn. I think it was a Karen yarn that I got at Michael's a few years ago. And then the last 2, I believe it's a ice cream yarn. I don't remember what the brand is, but I'm pretty sure it says ice cream on it. But anyways, I was just kind of using up some yarn that I had laying around that I wanted to use up. Then I made 2 more axolotls. So one of them is a pink one, and the next one I made with a variegated yarn that one of my friends gave me. And then I made a small cat. Small cats sold really well for me the past couple months in the store that I sell my crochet at. So I've been having to restock a lot of the small cats. So I made this one, and this is like a gray variegated one. Then I made a chick, and this is the bigger size chick that I make. And next I made 5 mini bunnies. So this pattern is called Bunny Bean by Honey Crochets on Ribblr, and I believe it is free. And I love this pattern for my spring and Easter markets. It is super quick to make, and it is the cheapest item that I sell because they are so small and quick to make. So I did safety eyes on 2 of them, and I embroidered eyes on the other 3. And then I made another shrimp. So I made one of these, I think, in January. Actually, I think I made 2 of them in January, and both of those sold, so I went ahead and made another one. The next item was actually an idea that my friend came up with. So I was showing her the slice of watermelons that I was making, and she said it would be cute to make like a lemon or an orange with the same pattern. And so I went ahead and took that idea and I made an orange. I still do plan on making a lemon. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Next, I made a different bunny. So if you haven't seen a few videos ago, I did a video where I tried out a bunch of different bunny patterns to find the best ones. So I think it was like 13 bunny patterns that I tried out. So there's a lot of different bunnies that you're going to see that I made this month. So this one, I used a variegated yarn that I normally use for axolotls, but I thought it looked really springy and like Easter colors, so I decided to make some bunnies with that. Next, I made 2 mini peeps, and these ones are both blue. I embroidered the eyes in them, and I don't think they look great. I kind of wish that I would have done safety eyes, but by the time I finished it, I realized I didn't think I could fit the safety eyes in, that I needed to do it like while I was crocheting it. Next, I made 2 mini chicks, and I did regular safety eyes in one, and I embroidered the eyes on the other. And then I tried out a new frog pattern. So I was doing the leggy frogs, and they haven't been selling well for me lately. So I wanted to try out a new pattern, and I saw Haley from Crochet Corner using this pattern, and so I wanted to try it out. It's a free pattern on Instagram. So I went ahead and made 3 of them. So I used Premier Chanel Basics for the bright green one, and then the other 2 are Bernat Blanket. Next, I made a mini octo, and I haven't made one of these in a while, and this one is in velvet yarn. So I actually realized I have quite a bit of velvet yarn laying around that I don't really use very often, so I decided to see how it would work up as a plushie, and I think it worked up pretty nicely. Then I did another pattern test, and this was a very large pattern test, and it took a while for me to make it, and I made 2 items for it. So this is a super, super cool pattern where the designer, I don't know if it's like, it's QB Crochet or Cubby, I think it's QB Crochet. So it is a tapestry crochet, and she made the pattern for all of the letters of the alphabet, and then you can take that pattern and rearrange the letters to make the sign say whatever you want, and then you just crochet it. So the first one I made is the pattern that she made first for it, which just says Crochet Plushies, which I was thinking I might put up at a market, or even I was thinking like maybe on my shelf back here behind me for videos. It might look cool. And so for this one, I used I Love This yarn from Hobby Lobby. And then for the second one, I put Maple Creations. And for this one, I knew that I found the perfect yarn that the colors match the colors of my logo. And so I really wanted to use that yarn, and I had previously got it at Walmart, but it had been on clearance, and with how much I had left, it was just a little bit of scraps. So I knew that I needed to buy more, or else I wouldn't be able to do it with that color. So I tried to look it up and see. Walmart didn't have it anymore. Joann's didn't have it. Michael's didn't have it. They were out of stock. And so I had to look everywhere on the internet, and even Amazon had it, but it said it was going to take like 2 weeks to ship, and I only had like, I think 2 weeks to do the pattern test. So I ended up having to get it from a website that I never heard of. I think it was like We Crochet or something. But anyways, I had to order it, and then I had to pay shipping also to get it here on time. But it did get here in time, and I was able to finish it, so that was good. But anyways, the colors weren't changing as quickly as I expected them to, so I had to keep cutting the yarn and starting with a different section to make the colors change as often as I wanted them to. So it didn't turn out exactly how I wanted it to, but I do still really like it. And the cool thing about this pattern is that you make like little loops on the edges so that it's easy to hang it up too. So I was thinking I might put the Maple Creations one, like hang it up here behind me, but we'll see. I haven't totally decided yet. Now we will get into more of the bunnies that I tried. So I'll go through these pretty quickly, and if you want to hear more about each bunny, how much sewing's involved, if it's a free or paid pattern, and how long it takes to make, then I will link my video about the bunny patterns so you can check that out there. So I'll just go through these pretty quickly. So the first one is a blue bunny, and this is a bigger one. I don't love how this one turned out, but I think it's just the eyes. I think if I had safety eyes, it would be better. Then I made another Aura the bunny, and this is a pink one that I made with Premier Chanel Brights. Next is the chocolate bunny pattern, which I made in pink. And then there's, I think it's Amelia the bunny, and then another mini peep, and then the jelly bean bunny. And then I made a large cat, which I haven't made a large one in a while because the mini ones have been selling really well for me, and the medium and large ones haven't been selling as much since I started doing the small ones. So this one is made with a gray variegated yarn. One of my friends in my crochet group said that it would be cute to do some white whiskers and some black whiskers, so I thought that was a good idea, and I tried it out and I love how it turned out. Next, I made two popping mushrooms. So one is blue and the other one is a variegated rainbow. And then I made 4 more mini cats. Like I said, they were selling really well, so I kept needing to restock. So the first one is a very light tan variegated one, and I did a light brown for the nose and whiskers. And then I decided to try out a new color. This one is a blue, green, and white variegated, and I really like how this one turned out. I think it's really cute, so I might make some more of these. Next, I did a brown one, and I did white whiskers on this one. And then I had a gray variegated velvet yarn that one of my friends gave me a while ago, and I finally decided to use it. And so this cat turned out a little bit smaller than the others, but it's still super cute. Then I made another mini bunny, and this was just a pink one, and I embroidered the eyes on it. And then I made 2 pickles, and then I made 2 more corn. One is with the variegated yellow, and one is just solid yellow. Then I did another pattern test, and this was one that I did on Ribblr, and it's for a little dinosaur. And I have a pattern that's similar that I use for sitting dinosaurs, but this one is different, and so I wanted to try this one out and see if I liked it better. And I like them both quite a bit, so I don't know that I actually like one more than the other, but I do think that this one is pretty cute. I was planning on putting safety eyes in it, but I should have done it sooner because by the time I finished, I could not reach all the way into the head to put the eyes in, so I went ahead and just embroidered them. Then I made another mini chick and a large chick, and this large chick I actually started a long time ago, and I just hadn't finished it, and I found it in one of my old whip piles, so I went ahead and finished that one, and I'm glad to get it done. And then, like I was telling you earlier, I got the tiny squid pattern. So this is the little squid that I made with it. I used the same color as that medium-sized one, and I think it turned out really cute. And then I made 2 more axolotls. Both of them are pink, but they are a different pink. So one is the mystical burnout blanket variegated, and then the other one is just a solid white pink. And then I made 2 more mini cats, and one is with the super light variegated with purple and blue, and I really like how that one turned out. And then the other one is a variegated tan. Then I made 2 more mini bunnies because I sold a couple of them at one of my markets. And then I made 2 more mini cats again. So I was running out of my gray variegated yarn. I only had a tiny bit left. And since Joann's is closing, I don't have anywhere near me to find this color. So I decided, instead of just using it to make like one last one, that I would kind of stretch it by doing white, by making cats that are white with the gray variegated spots. So I made a few like that. So both of these are like that, where I used mostly white and then I used the gray variegated to do some spots on them. And the last thing that I made was a dog, and this is a German Shepherd, and it worked out perfectly when this pattern got released. It was right when I needed it. So I got a market. So the market that I was doing was celebrating K9 veterans. And so most of the K9 veterans, the like police dogs, are like a German Shepherd or a Malinois. So I thought that I wanted to crochet one, but I wasn't sure if I would be able to find like a free pattern for it. It just so happened that Annie Caraway Art was releasing this pattern just a couple days before my market, right when I was looking for one. And I kind of thought about buying the pattern because the pack has like a bunch of different dog breeds in it, but I wasn't sure if I was going to. And then I saw on YouTube she made a tutorial. So out of all the dog breeds that she made for her pattern, her tutorial was to show the German Shepherd, and so it worked out perfectly. I didn't even have to buy the pattern. I just got to watch the YouTube tutorial and make it, so I thought that that was perfect. I don't love how the nose turned out on mine, and I might redo it later, but I think overall it turned out pretty cute. Okay, so that is everything that I made in March, and if you haven't guessed yet how many items, go guess in the comments. But the total is 71. I made 71 things in March, which I am super excited about. And honestly, I'm kind of surprised that I got that much done because this was a very busy month for me. I had 2 markets. I worked at art camp during spring break, and a family member had a wedding, so we did a lot of planning and helping with that as well. So overall, it was a super busy month. But part of the reason that I was able to get some of this done is one of my really good friends, she does not mind weaving in ends at all. So she helped me weave in some of the ends on some of these plushies, which was very helpful for me. So I think it was a really good month. And moving into April, I am hoping to get 55 items done. I think that is a little bit high. I'm not sure if I'm going to get that many, but that is what my goal is. I have 4 markets coming up in April, so I'm going to be very busy. But a lot of times with markets, if I sell out of something, then I need to restock quickly, so I might be making a lot due to that. So far this year, I have not made enough money as I have hoped for, so I'm really glad to be getting more markets coming up in the spring. So hopefully next month I will do really well at my markets, and I will have lots of new videos coming out. I'll have lots of market vlogs, and I still need to make some videos about how my plushies are doing in the store. So I talked about the first 2 months, and then in the next video I might talk about the next 2 months together, and so that will be coming fairly soon. I have so many ideas for videos, and with so many markets going on, that I may need to start posting even more often than once a week, so keep an eye out for some new videos from me. Thanks for watching!